Okay, good morning, everybody. It is another Monday, and today I have planned for you some cardio agility Tabata style. Don't run away. Tabata is an interval workout that has a specific ratio of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. All right, so we're going to repeat that cycle 8 times for each exercise. I will guide you through it. You do not have to remember that. So Tabata depends on you working pretty hard for that 20-second interval and then taking the 10 seconds to go ahead and recover. And I use that word sort of with a little bit of quotation marks around it because you're actually just catching your breath and getting ready for the next section. All you're going to need today is some kind of a marker that you can put on the floor. I have a scarf here that's about a meter long or so. You could use a scarf, a skipping rope, a yardstick or meter stick that's flat that you can put on the floor. Here, I'll duck down so you can see. Whatever you have laid on the floor, you're not going to trip on it. Okay, that's the key thing here. So we're going to be working agility today, which is going to get our heart rate up. So it is a cardio agility class. All right, for our first combo, we're going to do about 4 minutes with this particular combo in 20-second sections. You're standing to the right of your marker. Your left foot is coming over and back, and you're just marching or running your feet. Travel forward, no arms for the first one. We're just going to try this out. Travel back. All right, if you've got that, we're going to turn those pinkies in and we're going to roll those hands. Good, march it in. That's our first 20 seconds done. Wherever you're at on that line, just stay there and keep moving. Back on it. We're gonna roll it up. Roll it up. Keep moving forward and back. One leg working. And we're taking a little rest. Going back, same side, keep going. A little more vigorous. Wherever you're at, along that trajectory of that marker, just keep going. Pausing on that 10-second pause. I will cue you, don't worry. 3, 2, 1, pause. I'm worried I've lost track. Let's see. I think we got one more on this side. 1, and go. Very good. If the weights feel like they're a little too much, go ahead and put them down. You do not need to use them. We are halfway through this Tabata round. We're going to move to the other side of your marker. This time you're going to use your other leg over and back. Turn the palms under. And we're going to go this way. This is our 20 seconds on. We're working a little harder. Keeping those feet stepping over and back. Just the one foot. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Let your arms pause. Let the feet just gently move for this 10-second rest. 2, 1, and go. 20 seconds on. Thumbs are in. I'm just rolling those weights. 2, 1, and pause. Ooh, I gotta fix my marker. Look at me stepping on it. All right. Very good. 2, 1, go. Same side. Just traveling slightly forward and back. If you don't have room to travel, keep this on the spot. That's okay too. There's our pause, 10 seconds. Don't worry, I am following this along. It's actually cued in my music. So just follow along. 2, 1, and go. Now this should be the last one here. The idea is on this 20 seconds, you're working pretty hard to fairly hard to super hard, depending on how you want to work today. 2, 1, and stop. Okay? Great. Now we're going to get set up for the second 4-minute round. All we're going to do is a dynamic squat over your marker. I'm just going to move my marker a little bit to change the camera angle slightly. Standing on one side of your marker. Standing on one side of your marker. And one foot steps over and back. Over and back. We're doing a shoulder raise. First 20 seconds, shoulder raise. On this 10-second break, I want you to step over to the other side of the marker. Set up those hands. We're going to do the same thing again, stepping over with the other leg. Go. 20 seconds. Your squat and press might be slower. It might be faster. You want to do as many as you can within this 20-second time frame. With good form. 1 and stop. We're going to step over to the other side and we're going to do a delt fly. So the arms are in and they're going to come up to the side. 2, 1, and go. Same legs. Just going to alternate the legs on each section here and do our dynamic squat, stepping out and in. So that marker is just helping you remember which leg you're on and giving you a little bit of a visual tool. For agility training, stop, step it over. For agility training, we want to connect the mind with what the feet are doing. All right, 3, 2, 1, and begin on the other side. "20 seconds of action, moderate to intense, and then a 10-second recovery. I'm not going to call it a break. 3, 2, 1, back to the other side. Changing what our arms are doing, legs are doing the same. Arms are going to come up to the front. Ready, 2, 1, and begin. 20 seconds. Cardio agility. We are getting in some upper body here too. It really helps to keep that heart rate up. 2, 1, and stepping over to the other side. Keep those shoulders rolled back. Ready for that front raise. This is the recovery. 2, 1, and begin. 20 seconds. Keeping good squat form, even though it's quick and dynamic. 2, 1, and pause. Over to the other side. Excellent. We're going to do one more change of arms. Tricep extension on this last set on each side. Step it out and in. So be sure that the chest is staying high in that squat. The heels and the balls of the feet are carrying that squat. Don't lean into the toes. Shoulders stay down. Pinkies pushing away. And pause. Other side. Once again, setting it up. And ready. 3, 2, 1. Last 20 seconds on this particular combo. We are almost halfway through this workout already. How are you feeling? Hopefully that heart rate is up and you're working hard to fairly hard hard to hard on these 20-second intervals. 2, 1, and good. Let's step that over. So we're going to change our little run combo now slightly, moving in a different direction. I'm just going to move this for camera angle purposes. You do not need to move your marker. We're going to be facing our marker using the right leg and one arm. And 1, over and back. We're going to travel to the right, then travel to the left. So the right foot is moving over the marker and back. Right foot only, over the marker and back. Good. Pause. We're going to switch to the left foot. Left foot. Over the marker and back. 20 seconds. All right. Keep traveling side to side. So we have a combo of movements happening here. This is keeping that brain engaged, and this is the agility portion of it. 2, 1. Wherever you're at, just pause and keep those feet moving. We're going to go back to the right side, but this time we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing. Sorry, keep going. Yeah, right side again. Right side and curl. I'm going to change it up on you too much because our brain's working pretty overtime as it is. Right side, right bicep. And pause. We're going to get ready to do that same thing with the left side. Okay, repeating what we did for the first couple of combos. Left leg over, left bicep. Go. 20 seconds. It's kind of nice not to have to count reps, but we know if we're doing 20 seconds on each side, that we're going to be as even as we can. Doesn't matter if you do 1 or 2 more on one side than the other. We're going to come out even. It's all good. And we're back to the pause. Excellent work. We're going to bump it up a little bit by adding 2 bicep curls. Right leg only. Here we go. Right leg only. Your weights should be super light to be moving this fast. If your weights are starting to feel a little too heavy and draggy, or if you find that they are swinging, put them down. 2, 1, and pause, especially for these last couple of sets, because we're doing the same thing with the arms each time. Left leg is going to go now. 2, 1, and left leg forward and back. Agility, just stepping over that barrier, over that marker. Be sure that it's something that if you step on it, it's not going to cause any harm to it or you. 2, 1, pause. We have 1 more on each side. Back to the right foot. Elbows in, squeeze those upper arms into the ribs. 3, 2, 1, go. Right foot. Traveling back and forth. Again, this is just part of the agility combo. If you find that traveling is challenging, stay on the spot. You might not have room where you are. Stay on the spot. That works too. 2, 1, and active rest. 1 last set on the left side for this combo. 1, and go. Good, we got this. Again, very light weights. These are starting to feel super heavy, and they're only, I think I have 2 pounds or 3 pounds today. They're not a lot. So I don't recommend more than about 3 pounds today. And rest. Awesome work. We have 1 more combo to go, and again, just for visual camera sake, I'm going to move my marker this way. This time, our stationary leg is beside the marker. We're going to cross behind and up, lifting the arm over the marker. Good. Curtsy squat. Curtsy squat. 1 arm. Trust me. 2, 1. All right, we're gonna step over to the other side. The stationary leg is right beside that marker. The working leg is crossing behind and out. The working arm is lifting up over the marker. So in this case, you can do this completely without a marker on the floor. But to see how it helps, just helps me remember which arm, which leg, and the patterning. Good, switching back to the other side again. Remember, the stationary leg, the one that does not move, is right beside your marker. Let's do both arms. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Curtsy squat. If you'd like a little extra, you lift and hover that foot. Gives you a balance challenge and a little more cardio. That's an option. Keep it tapping down if that's better for you. Option. 2, 1. Stop. Step it over. Getting ready. Double raise. Crossing that foot behind. 3, 2, 1. Go. Again, optional lift here with that free foot or that moving foot. Either tap it down or let it come up. 2, 1. Step it over. Gonna go back to a single arm, but this time let's use the opposite side. Ready, and go. Cross over and back, over and back. So now I'm using the arm further away from the marker. If this is all terribly confusing, just be sure you're switching arms. It really doesn't matter. Just my way of keeping things connected here. Good job. Agility is about connecting the brain with what the body is doing. Getting ready, stationary foot close, opposite arm ready. Curtsy squat, curtsy squat. This is our 6th round within this 8-round Tabata. So we have 2 more 20-second rounds after this one. And yes, we're going to go back to double arms. Let's just check that one out. Come back over to this side. Curtsy squat, the feet are not changing. Both arms going to raise again. 2, 1. Curtsy squat. I always tell my students, this is my way of making sure that you remember me tomorrow. Curtsy squats are one of those that you will notice when you're going down the stairs tomorrow, or sitting up or standing, and you think, why is my butt sore? Over to the other side, last set. And then you get to think about me for about 48 hours while that delayed onset muscle soreness continues to remind you to say hello to BusyLizzy. There we go. Woo. Hello. You hear I'm breathing? I am breathing it. Oh, I hope you are too. And we are finished the workout portion for today. And in, nice and slow, out and in. Good job. Very nice. We're just going to keep it going. This is a nice slow and steady beat. If you have some music on in the background, just follow it lightly and slowly. Don't try and stick with any heavy, quick beats right now. All right. And we're going to take one foot back and do a dynamic lunge. Reach up and down. Again, just using those arms about shoulder height. I came up too high on those first few. We're just going to come up shoulder height. Dynamic lunge and helping that heart rate drop. Good, let's switch legs. And we're going to bring the arms in on this set. Again, to facilitate that heart rate coming down. All right. So we're going to try and breathe a little bit more deeply now and settle that breathing back down. There we go. In through the nose if you can and when you can. Good. Let's come back to a center position with a slight plie, and we're just going to reach over and back, nice and slow, over. Let's stay on the same side. Over and back. Good. Over and back. Over and back. Good. And the other side. I feel like I might leave this one in for the YouTubers who are watching, because I think we do need that little cool down section right after that cardio blast. Nice work. Let's bring the toes forward, shoulders back, lean in, and just reach, and then come up. Again, forward fold, tummy tight, and come on up. The knees are soft. The knees are soft. The tailbone pushing back. So we are working into the hamstring muscles, just elongating, working through range of motion. Good. And that's going to be up to standing now. Last couple of big stretches. All right. Looking for that heart rate to have come down a little bit. So you should feel as though you could say a complete sentence now without huffing and puffing and stopping to catch breaths in the middle of a sentence. You can also fairly comfortably breathe in through your nose. Let me pause that. Very comfortably breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth a couple of times without feeling like you have to stop and take a couple of extra breaths. So that's just a little gauge to see if you're ready to take it to the stretch. All right? We're going to come down on the floor for the stretch. Let's see if I am in camera view. All right, let's get ready to stretch it out. We're going to take one foot to the side. I'm going to move back so you can see me. There we go. One foot to the side. We have a half straddle today. We're going to reach with a nice tall back for that toe. Half straddle. Noticing that stretch in the inner thigh and possibly in the lower back, if that is a tense area for you. Let's take the arm up and over and breathe into the side ribs. Look under your arm to make sure that this is a side stretch. Just going to take a couple of breaths, just filling up those ribs. Reaching up. We're going to turn that body towards that straddled leg and reach forward with both hands. Try and reach equally with the right and left hand so that we're now doing more of a fold through the hip joint than a stretch through the side body. If your hands don't go as far forward as me, that is 100% fine. Just reach wherever you can. If you feel the stretch here, that's where you're staying. Excellent. We're going to use a good exhale to draw us a little bit further down. And then inhale and rise up. Good. We're going to take this straight leg and hook it around behind you, leaning into the opposite side. Create lots of space between this hip and this heel. So that may mean drawing the heel a little bit forward so that you have room to roll this hip. This is a beautiful hip flexor stretch. And if you've been doing a lot of cardio or knee lifts or squats in your workout, you need to stretch this out nicely. Let's take that foot that's behind and take it all the way over here, wrapping it around the thigh. If the thigh is not a good spot for you, you can wrap it in front of the shin. All right, and then with the opposite arm, we're going to hug that knee and lift tall through the back and look over the shoulder. Keep breathing. So you don't want to be twisting or stretching to the point where it stops your breath. A nice, gentle, repetitive, continuous breath is best. Releasing from that. Now we're just going to stay tangled up here for a moment. I want you to place the foot that's on the bottom onto the mat and just lift this whole business up. So this is our figure 4 stretch today. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see how that looks. I'm just posting and leaning a little bit into my hands, flat palms on the mat, and then trying to wiggle my body up a little closer to that foot. Okay? Very good. So we're going to come back to the center and do everything on the other side. I'm going to start in that butterfly stretch just to make sure that we can regroup and remember which leg we used. So I had this leg out the first time, so I'm going to put this leg out this time in that half straddle. Half straddle. Reaching up and over to that foot. So the body is still facing to the front, the shoulders are facing the camera or your screen right now. And then your arm can come up and over, creating lots of space in the ribs to breathe. So really send that breath into those ribs. It helps to look up under that arm, just a little bit. Can you just put eyes on the ceiling slightly? Without turning your head, keep your head facing your screen so you have nice alignment through the neck. There it is. Good, releasing from that, we're going to turn the body. So now the shoulders are reaching towards that outstretched leg and slide those fingers forward. Now if you're like me, you'll notice one side is bendier than the other. That is completely normal. A lot of people experience that. So just observe that and don't judge. It's all good. Again, using the breath, making sure that the right and left hands are reaching equally forward and hinging through the hip. Think of that hinge happening right deep in that hip. Let that breath settle us down one more time as you exhale. And then as you inhale, body comes on up. Let's take that straight leg, hook it behind, and open up this hip. We can reach up. I'm not sure if we did that on the other side, but we can reach up for this if that feels better for you. Or just go ahead and have your hand here on your hip. The focus is keeping some distance between the heel and the thigh here so that you're stretching and rolling that hip forward, opening up that hip flexor. All right, let's bring that foot from around the back and either tuck it in front of your shin and wrap. That's a good option. Or if you're feeling like a little bit of a deeper stretch through the glute and the twist of the back, you can take that foot across the thigh. Tall spine and looking over that shoulder. Keep breathing. As we're concentrating on some of these positions, it's natural to forget to breathe. So just a reminder, and I probably sound a bit like a broken record, but people do tell me that it helps when I remind them to breathe. So breathe. All right, so keep that tangled up feet position there. We're just going to take the sole of this foot to the mat and lift up. And I'll show you this one from the same angle as last time so that you can see what's going on with the hip there this time, instead of having my foot in your camera. All right, we're still pushing, or supporting, I should say, with those hands nice and flat. Elbows are soft, and then press the belly and the chest towards the thigh. If you need to wiggle up a little further, you can push those hands a little further, and again, push that chest up towards the thigh. This is going to look very different perhaps for you. You may indeed not even wish to lift that leg up so high. Maybe this is enough of a stretch. Really make it your own. If you need to adjust your body position, please do so. Let's come back to the center in the butterfly stretch and just lifting nice and tall through the back of the neck. Shoulders are driving down the back. And we'll take a slight lean forward using the elbows to just hinge those knees slightly to the sides. Keep breathing. We're going to bring those feet into a relaxed seated position, feeling nice and tall and strong. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Hands into that. And thank you so much for joining me today.